This episode is brought to you by Columbia Sportswear. It's snowing again, and that wind chill is killer. But you're not worried about that because you shop the Omni Heat Infinity Collection. It's warmth perfected with tiny gold dots that reflect your body heat inside and protect you from the cold outside. No snow or chilly temps can stop you now. Go out anyway. Shop the Omni Heat Infinity Collection now at Columbia.com/infinity.
This episode is brought to you by Reese's Peanut Butter Cups. Some things are just better together, like party playlists and Friday nights, campfires and ghost stories, peanut butter and chocolate. And Reese's Cups are the perfect combination of creamy peanut butter and delicious milk chocolate. So, when you want something sweet, you can't do better than Reese's Peanut Butter Cups. Buy Reese's today wherever candy is sold.
The holidays are a time to feel and create joy. And what could be more joyous than the look on her face as she unwraps a stunning new jewelry piece from Blue Nile? How about getting 50% off your purchase? Blue Nile offers premium quality, priced below traditional retail. Their online experts are available 24/7 to answer any questions and make sure you've picked the perfect gift. For a limited time, you can get 50% off at BlueNile.com. That's 50% off at BlueNile.com.
For once, Inter looked like they were struggling. I say for once in this season, because even the game they lost in Serie A this season against Sassuolo, they were essentially on top. They somehow managed to surrender a 1-0 lead to lose 2-1. But Lazio caused the problems in the first half. There were a couple of sights of goal for Immobile et al., albeit not really any meaningful chances, just the Immobile header at the back post. But just when Inter weren't really dominating possession, they weren't really fashioning chances with the same regularity with which we've become accustomed to this season, they were presented with a Christmas gift a week early. Adam Marušić and his back pass going straight to Lautaro Martinez, who, to be honest, still had plenty of work to do. He rounded Ivan Provedel supremely well before then depositing the ball into the back of the net. His 15th goal of the league season in just his 16th appearance, 17 all told.
Given away here to Lautaro Martinez, round the goalkeeper. Lautaro must score, and of course he does. The league's top scorer keeps on finding the net. He's made a habit of this against Lazio, and the Biancocelesti, who had been so good in the opening 40 minutes, have made a fatal mistake, and the killer instinct of Lautaro Martinez comes to the surface again.
And that's really where the game hinged. Inter hadn't offered a great deal in the final third. Once they got the lead, it always looked like they weren't going to concede. Lazio were just tossing balls in from set pieces without really offering a great deal. Lazio hadn't scored a single-headed goal all season. Inter hadn't conceded a single-headed goal in Serie A. Albeit there was one big moment for a boyhood Inter fan, Nicolò Rovella, who shrugged off Hakan Çalhanoğlu in midfield, used the run of Immobile then to break into the box, and when he was one-on-one with Sommer, his shot was kicked behind by the Switzerland number 1.
Well in by Rovella, too strong for Çalhanoğlu. He's only got Immobile with him. Nicolò Rovella, what a run from him! And Sommer is there to keep out the boyhood Inter fan.
One major scare for Inter. The scoreline was still 1-0 there. It was relatively early on in the second half, but that's the closest that Lazio got to scoring a goal, and you thought the second goal would come for Inter. Inevitably it did, courtesy of Marcus Thuram, who is not only having a superb first season with Inter, scoring goals, setting up plenty as well, but he also always seems to make his mark in these big matches. We've seen him score against Fiorentina and Milan and Roma and Benfica. Plus he found the net at Napoli. Now he's struck against Lazio. Whenever there's a big team, with the exception of Juventus, but Lautaro got the goal that night, Marcus Thuram invariably steps up and scores, and his second goal made absolutely sure of the points. But Inter's numbers are frightening. They've got a plus 32 goal difference after just 16 matches. They have kept clean sheets in 11 of their 13 wins. They've just drawn 2 matches, and one of those was against Juventus, and they've only lost once to Sassuolo. It is fairly ominous. It reminds me a great deal of Napoli last season, who had an 8-point cushion after 15 matches when we went into the a winter break for the Qatar World Cup. Inter have played one more match than that. They are 4 points ahead of Juventus, but it's one of those cushions that feels a lot more significant. A, because of just how laboured Juventus can be in getting wins, often by a single goal. And B, because of Inter's propensity to create chances. Yes, there has been a blot on the copybook. Yes, they would have preferred to have won at least one of those 2 remaining Champions League matches and not drawn away at Benfica and then at home to Real Sociedad. They will be in the pot as runners-up, so unseeded for tomorrow's Champions League draw. I say tomorrow because this is being recorded on Sunday night, fresh from the game against Lazio, and the draw will be made tomorrow at noon. And Inter, along with their Italian counterparts, Lazio and Napoli, will both be in the pot. But I've just heard Simone Inzaghi on the radio saying that he wants to draw Manchester City, or he feels that Inter will come up against the team that beat them in the Champions League final last season. What a mouth-watering prospect that could be. 2 more instalments of Manchester City against Inter. The nerazzurri fans certainly felt that they were as good as Manchester City on the 10th of June in Istanbul when they met in the Champions League final. That solitary goal from Rodri was what settled the fixture there. Been a really impressive, almost flawless campaign from the nerazzurri so far. That's me, Patrick Kendrick, signing off for this particular voice note, available to all of our patrons on Patreon and those of you who subscribe to Serie A Chronicles. We'll be back for our weekly episode on Tuesday. Do tune in so you don't just have a monologue from me. You can also hear from the delightful Nicky Bandini and Mina Rizuki. For now, though, after 9 minutes of me talking to myself, I'm going to sign off and say good evening, good night, buonanotte. Head to SerieAchronicles.com/Patreon now and subscribe to the Chronicles Tifosi Patreon membership with a free 7-day trial. Get early access to every full-length episode and voice note before the rest of the world. Plus, all episodes are 100% ad-free. And you get bonus Patreon-only exclusive episodes, video episodes, and behind-the-scenes extras. Also, be sure to join the new chat community in the Patreon app and chat with fellow subscribers.
Sports Social Podcast Network.
Looking for a fun way to win 25 times your money this football and basketball season? Test your skills on Prize Picks, the most exciting way to play daily fantasy sports. Just select 2 or more players, pick more or less on their projection for a wide variety of stats, and place your entry. It's as easy as that. If you have the skills, you can turn $10 into $250 with just a few taps. Easy gameplay, quick withdrawals, and injury insurance on your picks are what make Prize Picks the #1 daily fantasy sports app. Ready to test your skills? Join the Prize Picks community of more than 7 million players who have already signed up. Right now, Prize Picks will match your first deposit up to $100. Just visit prizepicks.com/play100 and use code play100. That's code play100 at prizepicks.com/play100 for a first deposit match up to $100. Prize Picks, daily fantasy sports made easy.